But Abbotsford, chippy little game last night, ended up pushing it into overtime. So let's dive right into it. First thing there on the ticker. Abbotsford, they fell 3-2 in overtime facing off against those Calgary Wranglers, that damn good Calgary Wranglers team. Where do you want to start here, Quads? I know you watched it last night too. I think there's one player that made the biggest difference in yesterday's game. I guess he's not even technically a player. I don't know how they call these goaltenders or whatnot, but Dustin Wolf is so damn good. He is very good.
Are we surprised though? Like, previewing this series, you and I even talking about it off air and on air, what did we say? Like, we said the biggest X factor in this series is Dustin Wolf. He's the best goaltender in the AHL, and he played like it last night. I liked the effort from the Abbotsford Canucks. I don't think you can be upset with how they played, but, you know, we were chatting after the game, and, you know, our pal Cody Sievertson wrote the Farmies last night, and we kind of talked about, you know, where they were struggling, and it's that back end, right? Like, it wasn't great. They weren't getting much offense. They weren't getting the, you know, like the puck movement that we saw in Abbotsford, right? Like breaking the puck out of their own zone. I don't know if it was because of the Wranglers' forecheck or what it was, but they did have some struggles there, and I think we wanted to see some more from them when it came to the offensive side of the game. I thought the team played well. We were talking about how, okay, it can't just be one line. I don't know your take. Like, Aatu Ratu scores, and I'm going to talk about that a little more, but Aatu Ratu scores. I thought all the forward lines kind of came to play last night. I don't think that was the case in the Bakersfield series. In Bakersfield, we've talked about it, how it seemed like it was just the Hoglander line, right? And I don't think that was the case last night. I think everybody came to play. I just think, you know, if you have to pinpoint a weak spot for this team last night, it was probably the defensive side of the game, and not defending per se, just the defensemen breaking the puck out and not getting hemmed in their own end. I thought that was where they kind of struggled last night.
Yeah, how many times did we see a Abbotsford Canucks defenseman try and break out the puck from inside of their own blue line and hit a skate at the blue line, hit a skate in their own zone? It felt like it happened on almost every breakout. Like, there was a rare clean breakout for the Abbotsford Canucks, and I don't know if that's, like, I would have to guess that's more about the Wranglers, right? Because it's not like the Abbotsford Canucks are rusty. If anybody was going to be rusty, it was the Wranglers, and I think you saw that in probably the first 10 minutes of the game as well. Like, it did look like the Wranglers were struggling a little bit to kind of just get their head into a playoff kind of feel of the game. And then a little bit of physicality started, and it really felt like it woke up the Wranglers. But I really agree with you. I think the biggest problem for the Abbotsford Canucks last night was simply getting out of their own zone, but not just getting the puck out, but being able to maintain possession. And they just weren't able to string together a pass in the really important areas of the ice. I didn't think the forwards were that good. I didn't think that the top six lines were very good for the Abbotsford Canucks. You brought it up, Cody, and we were in a group chat last night. Did he say Justin Dowling had 7 shots? I don't remember any of those being dangerous, right? Like, and there was a lot of outside shots on Dustin Wolf where I'm thinking, like, they're getting shots on net. I understand it, but there's like backhanders from 40 feet out and things that just aren't going to beat that type of goaltender. With Dustin Wolf, you have to be able to score NHL caliber goals to beat him. You need to be able to score goals that would happen in the NHL. Like, there's a lot of goals that happen in the AHL, and you're like, oh, okay, like a goalie in the NHL is going to make that save, or a defenseman's going to clear that puck. With Dustin Wolf, you have to beat him with NHL quality goal scoring chances. And I don't think you saw a lot of that last night from the Abbotsford Canucks. They weren't really able to push the pace that much. And I'm curious to see what happens now, because Philip Johansson took warm up for the Abbotsford Canucks. He wasn't in the lineup last night. This is the right shot defenseman coming over from Sweden. And then Noah Juleson ends up getting hurt. We saw him get crushed on the boards. Looked like something in maybe a shoulder or something upper body, maybe. Just guessing here. But now the Canucks have an option here if Juleson is going to miss some games here. You want to go with Philip Johansson, the guy who can break the puck out. It's something that he's probably one of his best skills. Or do you want to go back to Brady Keeper, who scored in the game to end up heading the sweep in the first series against Bakersfield? Brings a little bit more physicality. I don't know. I think you have a couple different options here. I expect to see a lineup change and probably a goaltending change as well, because that's kind of the realm here before game 2, which is tomorrow, Friday.